Hello and welcome to the Paul Green Comedy PaulCast. This is June 19th, 2024, episode 203 of my daily podcast. Stand-up comedian and actor Paul Green here. And I am not doing video on this episode, mostly just out of a little bit of laziness. I pretty much had to take my podcasting gear out of the house because my comedian partner and I went and filmed a handful of promotional videos for our upcoming midlife crisis comedy shows, and it's just been a busy night, and I did not go and get everything set back up for this episode. I know, everybody. It is, I'm not going to lie, it's getting harder and harder for me to get these episodes out on the daily, which in some regards is good news because I'm just getting busier, more things are going on, and that's all good news. But yeah, I've pretty much haven't been able to release an episode when I usually like to release them, which is 8 in the morning, but I'm so far behind that if I release this at 8 in the morning, it will mean that I have technically missed a day of podcasting. So I am doing my best to navigate that and keep with my goal of releasing a podcast episode every day for 365 days in a row, and I'm already more than halfway there, seeing as how this is episode 203, and I want to get to 365. I set this goal at back in November, really as a challenge to myself, just to stick with something on a daily basis, because that has always been a big weakness of mine as a comedian and a performer, but also as a dreamer, and that is realizing that any dream takes daily consistent effort, and just doing something every day is just not easy, and that is what I am battling with right now, keeping up with my daily podcast with all of this stuff going on, which is all great stuff. I'm super excited and very happy for what's been going on. Most significantly is that the Midlife Crisis Comedy Show is just starting to gain some traction, a little traction here and there. Nothing major, but we are just seeing some growth and have some more opportunities coming up in the future, which I'm very much looking forward to. So today I had an opportunity to meet up with a friend of mine who's also very wise when it comes to branding and social media, and she has agreed graciously to take on sprucing up my social media. And we had an awesome meeting today, and she's working on updating all kinds of stuff about my brand, even down to the typography and the fonts and the branding colors and how I am presenting myself online, all kinds of just really cool stuff. And so we're starting to work on cleaning up that whole branding element of my social media and seeing if we can start to see some growth and some traction on the old social medias, because I have been trying to figure that game out for as long as there's been social media. I have tried just so many different things, and probably not one thing with the consistency that success warrants. But I have tried a lot of different stuff, and yeah, I don't know. I don't know what the secret sauce is. I don't know what the magic ingredient is, but this friend of mine who is also an actress and a performer who I met at the murder mystery that I did about a month ago. She was actress and part of that, and I just had so much fun with her. And then she invited me to join the Fairy Tale Events company, which is how I ended up dressing up like Blippi and salsa dancing at a 2-year-old boy's birthday party on Saturday. And actually, this Saturday, turns out, I will be playing Batman. So, just random stuff that's happening. And anyway, she and I had another gig about a week ago, and she said that she checked out my social media and had some ideas on how to improve, and was very candid that my social media kind of sucks. And I am inclined to agree. So I am excited to see what that might make happen here in the next little while. So after meeting with her, I then went and did that promo shoot with my boy Josh Novi, and nothing really too mind-blowing there. It's just the advertising person that we have hired on to manage all of our ads for our shows suggested we should do some little promo intros. So we filmed all those, recorded them. I sent those over to him tonight, and then I went to a brand new open mic, which I have never been to before. But I wanted to try out a brand new punchline. And I don't have like a whole new bit. I just I've been doing this bit for a little while now, which works okay, but I didn't really have a strong ending to it. And as a matter of fact, I did it on Sunday, and I got that feedback from a couple people. They're like, yeah, we liked the joke, but it didn't really have a good ending. And I was like, yes. And I was aware of that. And so I started just brainstorming that particular joke and a better way to end it. And I was like, oh, I think I know how I want to end it. I should go try it at an open mic tonight. And so I went to this open mic, and I started doing the material that I've been doing, and that particular joke is at the end. Unfortunately, I ran out of time. So I didn't get a chance to attempt my new punchline. However, there was another open mic on Thursday nights, which I happen to know the club owner, and so I'm very fortunate because he will usually give me time when I show up, which is very generous, and I will give it another go and see if the new punchline, the new ending to this joke lands a little harder than what I was doing. So the open mic, it was an interesting experience. I hadn't been to this one. It's at this kind of old school, what's the word, retro, I guess, arcade. It's an actual like old school arcade in downtown Mesa, and it's a pretty cool facility. So it's just this gigantic, well, not gigantic, it's a big bar, and then the walls are just lined with pinball machines and old school arcade games. And I thought it was pretty cool concept. And some buddies of mine who I know just somehow either got in contact with ownership or knew somebody and just set up an open mic there. They just had a PA system and a microphone, and yeah, they're just doing a little open mic action. So I went to the open mic, put my name on the list. I was the last on the list because I got there a little late, and I had a pretty good time. I enjoyed watching a bunch of comics. Some of them I actually knew, and it's been fun watching them develop. And then saw a few more comics I'd never met before who did a pretty good job. And by the time it got to my turn, most of the bar had cleared out. There was maybe 10 to 12 people kind of hanging around. But the good news is the bar had kind of become focused at that point. The earlier comics, there were a handful of people who were not there for the comedy, which anybody who's ever done an open mic in a bar just knows that is one of the most difficult circumstances to do comedy, when you have like a handful of people who just came for the bar, or in this case, just came for the arcade, and they couldn't care less about the fact that there's comedy going on. And so if they're in a group, they just talk and laugh and are loud. And as a comedian, you're trying to like tell jokes. And unfortunately, some of the earlier comics had to deal with that, because there were a handful of patrons there who just didn't really seem at all aware that there was comedy. It seemed like they would kind of like pipe in every now and again, but they weren't really like dedicated and focused on the stand-up. And all those people had left by the time I got up, which usually as a comedian, you don't want people leaving before you do stand-up. You want people there. But in this case, the fact that those people left actually made it a better open mic for the remaining comics, because at least everybody else was focused on the comedy. And even though it was, very spread out, again, there was just maybe 10, 12 people. And, it's a pretty big venue, and they were pretty far spread out. So, not like an ideal environment to do comedy. And I went up there and did the new material that I've been working on, and it actually went pretty well. I got the people who had remained focused and got laughs, which was really nice. It would have been nice if I would have timed it better and made sure that I had time to do the joke that I'd been wanting to work on. But that's how it goes. After the open mic, I actually went to go see a movie, which I have been wanting to see. I went to go see Bad Boys 4, see how good old Will Smith and Martin Lawrence are still holding up as comedic action stars well into their, they probably got to be pushing 60 now, if not in their 60s. And, the movie was all right. It's just one of those movies. What I think there are 4 movies into this franchise by now, and it's just one of those movies that, 30 seconds in, you know what the whole plot's going to be, and we just kind of watch it play out the exact way that we expected. There's the big bad guy who's the evil bad guy who doing all the bad things, and then they go and get the bad guy. Sorry to give you a little spoiler alert there. But it's kind of what I expected. So I guess in that regard, I wasn't disappointed. So yeah, that's the update. I am just sort of swimming in this new-found show that really just came out of nowhere and is sort of taking on a life of its own, and just very excited and grateful for the people who are coming into my life and who have a interest in helping me find success and are wanting to help me on whatever, with whatever resources they can, or with whatever wisdom or expertise or opportunities or resources. And it's been very cool couple of months as I follow this dream. So I am hopeful. I'm excited. I'm looking forward to this weekend. I've got 4 shows at JP's in Gilbert. I will also be at the open mic there tonight. And found out that I will be playing Batman for some sort of gig on Saturday for about 30 minutes. So, who would have thought? So, all right, my friends. That is the update for today. This is June 19th, 2024, episode 203. I hope all of you are doing well. You're out there pursuing your dreams, and that good opportunities and good people are being attracted into your life, because that is what has been happening to me, and I'm very grateful for that. All right, everybody, keep hustling, keep moving forward. I love you all so much, and I will check in with you tomorrow.